Welcome yogis to this practice dedicated to grief and loss. We're going to start by sitting down, so taking anything that you need to make yourself comfortable sitting. And today, when we experience feelings of loss and grief and sadness, it can make our system cold. So if you have a cozy jumper to put on, I've got mine at the ready here, a pair of socks, you'll be able to wear them for most of the practice that we're doing here today. And maybe I've got a pile of blankets here for later on as well. So coming into a comfortable cross-legged position, just when you're ready. And then just resting your hands wherever feels good. Often we talk about the orientation of the palms, palms down, containing our energy, and palms up, offering it outward. And when it comes to practicing yoga for loss, palms up is our position of surrender, of letting go, of vulnerability, and palms down is a position for containing, for holding on. So if you feel that it's right for you today, you may turn your palms upwards. And if it isn't, that's okay. And then just gently closing your eyes or gazing gently downward if you prefer. Taking a moment to see if you can make yourself feel that length in the back of the body. Sometimes when we're protecting our hearts, we can get that little hunch, that forward rounding in the upper back. But when we are working with loss and grief, we are trying to open the heart so it can move past that containment, that blockage. So see if you can allow yourself to really sit tall. Take this moment to feel how you're feeling in your sensations. Perhaps becoming aware of parts of the body that feel vulnerable, that need a little additional care today. Become aware of your breathing, the quality of your breath. And then becoming aware of the feelings that you're having, the emotions, the thoughts. If you can, avoid getting involved in any of those or rationalizing them or thinking about why. Just accepting yourself as you are today. And if it's appropriate for you today, bringing to mind someone or something that you feel you have lost. It might be something as simple as time that you would have spent with family this year, or friends, a place that you wanted to see, an experience that has been denied you by our current situation. It might be deeper, it might be someone that you've lost, maybe not recently. It could be a pet, something dear to you. And if you want to today, you can work with this person or thing in mind. And if you prefer, you can choose to not work with something in mind. That's okay too. When you're ready, bring your palms together at the center of your chest, just lifting your chest a little, taking your chin towards your chest, as much as feels comfortable. Taking a few quiet moments here, relaxing your face. And when you're ready, raising your head and opening your eyes. Lovely. Relaxing your arms down to your sides. We're going to just begin with a little bit of coordinated breath and movement. So turning your palms upwards, keeping that lift through the body as much as you can to open the energetic channels, allow your energy to move. Let us breathe in, reaching the arms out and up, maybe lifting the head, just a little. And as you breathe out, turn your palms downwards and let your hands float back towards your sides. Turning the palms upwards, breathing in, reaching the arms wide as you reach up, maybe lifting the chin a little. And as you breathe out, turning your palms and allowing your arms to float down to your side. Really gentle movements. Let's do 3 more. Breathing in. And breathing out. You can go faster or slower if you need to. Breathing in, turning the palms upwards, feeling that opening across the chest. Fill the lungs in every direction. And breathing out. Last one. Breathing in. And breathing out. Lovely. Just resting your arms again wherever is comfortable for a moment. Now, if you don't sit cross-legged comfortably and you wish to release your legs at any time, do that. Now is a good time because I'm going to talk to you for a moment. So in yoga, we have a sister science of Ayurveda to help us manage our lives, but also those challenging times. And Ayurveda gives great advice for the times when we are dealing with loss and we're trying to cope with it. And Ayurveda says, give yourself a routine, and it helps to get up at the same time every morning, to eat at the same times during the day, and to make sure that you're going to bed early and getting lots of good rest. Trying to avoid that impetus we have to perhaps stay and hibernate in our bedrooms under the covers. But Ayurveda says to keep ourselves nice and cozy and warm, to drink warming drinks, to add a little ginger or a little spice to our food, to choose root vegetables, beetroots, carrots, parsnips, and pumpkins at this time of year. Would you believe it? It's autumn, it's when all of those things are ready. And to eat stews and soups, warm, unctuous food, to nourish ourselves from the inside, to give ourselves that compassion in our food as well as in our lives. So if you can find a way to add those elements to your day, to your life, and staying away from your screens later on in the evening and social media, if possible. It's not always possible. So these are ways that we can support our journey. And now we're going to move into just a little gentle flow here in our seated position. So if you've uncrossed your legs, coming back to sitting cross-legged, just taking note of which leg is in front. We're going to begin a little flow that we move with our breath. I'm going to just move some of these things I have here to give myself a little bit more room to the side. And where possible, try to coordinate your breath and your movement together. So sitting nice and tall, we're going to begin by bringing the palms of the hands together and interlacing the fingers, and stretching the backs of the hands away, scooping the belly in, bringing the chin towards the chest, feeling that rounding through the upper back. Take a deep breath in here and a deep breath out, just expanding the back of the lungs. Then turning the palms out again, sitting tall, breathing in as you reach the palms forward and up, stretching through the sides of the body. Take a deep breath in, lift your shoulders. Take a deep breath out and drop just the shoulders down. Take another deep breath in, filling the lungs in every direction. And a deep breath out. We're going to separate the hands as we breathe in, reach the hands tall, and as we breathe out, gently allow the arms to come down to the side. Wonderful stuff. We're going to reach the palms forwards, palms always turned upwards, opening the chest. And as you breathe out, turn the palms and reach forward as you fold forward and down. Doesn't matter how far you come, just allowing your hands to come down. A little bit forward is fine. You're going to take a deep breath in here. Lengthen maybe into the crown of your head if you feel able. And a deep breath out. Then we're going to reach the palms forward, firm the belly, breathing in and up. And as you breathe out, take the hands behind you and breathing as you touch the ground. Breathing in, reaching the hands behind you, rolling the shoulder blades together, opening the chest, maybe even lifting the chin. And as you breathe out, bringing the head back to center, releasing your weight from your hands, coming back to center. Place your left hand down, breathe in, reach your right palm up. And as you breathe out, allowing yourself to fold over to the left just a little. Turning your right palm, breathing in, coming back up to the center. Breathing out as you reach your right hand down to your side and reach your left hand up. Breathe in as you reach through that left hand, stretching up first, and then breathing out as you gently allow yourself to come over to the right side. Breathing in, turn your left hand, coming back to center. Breathing out, float only your left hand down. Breathing in, take your right hand to your left thigh, your left hand behind you. And breathing out, just gently ease into a gentle twist. Doesn't have to be very full, this first twist of the class. Breathing in, return to center with your head and your hands, reaching across to the opposite side. And breathing out as you twist in that direction as well. Breathing in, back to the center. Breathing out, bringing your hands back to Namaste. Let's do that all over again. So interlacing the fingers, breathe in as you reach the backs of the hands far away from you, curving the spine, chin to chest. Breathing out here. Breathing in, turn your palms, sit tall, reach the hands up over your head. Breathing out, let your shoulders come down. Breathing in here. Breathing out, allowing the hands to separate and float down to the sides of the body. Turn your palms forward as you breathe in, reach forward and up, lifting in the belly a little as you open the chest. Breathing out as you float yourself forward, leaning slightly forward and down. We'll hold this for a gentle breath in. And a full breath out. Turn the palms upwards again, firm your belly, breathing in, reaching the hands up. Allow the hands to drift behind you as you breathe out, reaching them behind you and towards each other on the floor if you can. Breathe in, roll your shoulder blades together, maybe lift your chest, your chin. Breathing out back to your center, just floating off your hands. Left hand down, breathe in, reach the right hand up. Breathing out as you lean over towards your left side. Turn your right palm, breathing in and up. Let's float the left hand up at the same time. Breathing out as you reach over to the right side. Let's go side to side here. Breathing in, turn the left hand up. Float the right hand off the floor. Breathing out, leaning over to the left. Turning the right hand, breathing in and up. Float the left hand off the floor. Breathing out and over. One more time to each side, breathing in and up, breathing out and over, gentle movements, breathing in and up, breathing out and over, breathing in, coming back to center, breathing out as you gently twist around to your right side, maybe reach your left hand to your right hip. Breathing in, release the hands, come back to center. Breathing out, twist. Oh, sorry, this is your right side. Lovely job. Breathing in, back to center. Breathing out as you twist. Just a lovely upright twist. Breathing in, back to center. Breathing out as you twist. Let's do one more to each side. Breathing in. Breathing out. Twist to the left. Breathing in, or is it the right? Breathing out. Breathing in, coming back to center, just opening the palms. Breathing out, bringing your hands back to Namaste. Here, take a moment. You can relax your hands down. You can uncross your legs, particularly if you've been sat cross-legged all of that time. Just allow your legs to relax a little. And here, taking a moment to feel how you feel in your body, to notice if there are any changes, any effects from your practice. When we're working with loss and grief, we're trying to also work with the element of compassion and being kind to ourselves and gentle, not expecting too much. So we're going to cross our legs the opposite way. And we're going to go through this sequence, but maybe just as we did the second time. So finding some length if you can, this openness across the chest, interlacing the fingers, stretching the backs of the hands away, tucking the, scooping the belly in, chin towards the chest if it feels okay there. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Turn the palms, breathing in, reach the hands forward and up, looking up, lifting in the sides of the body and the belly. And as you breathe out, float your shoulder blades down. Breathing in here as you reach the fingers up, breathing out as you float your arms down to the side. Turn your palms forward, breathe in, reach your hands forward and up. Again, opening the chest, feel that engagement in the back of the body. Breathing out as you fold forward over your legs. Doesn't matter where you come to, float your hands to the floor. We'll take a deep breath in here. And a deep breath out. Try not to hunch the shoulders forward. One more deep breath in. And deep breath out. As you breathe in, turn your hands, engage your belly, float your hands up, opening the chest. Reach your hands behind you. As you breathe out, roll the shoulder blades towards each other, opening the chest, breathing in. And as you breathe out, float off your hands. Take your arms to the side. Let's go the opposite way this time. Breathing in, reach one hand up and reaching over as you breathe out. Going side to side, turn the palm as you breathe in and reaching over to the other side as you breathe out. Firm in the belly if you can, breathing in. And breathing out, slow, gentle, moving with awareness, breathing in. And breathing out. Breathing in. And breathing out. Deep breaths, one more to each side, breathing in. And breathing out. Actually, I think that's our last side. Breathing in, come back to center. And breathing out as you twist. Breathing in, back to center. Breathing out as you twist. Breathing in, return to center. Breathing out as you twist. Breathing in. And breathing out as you twist. One more to each side, breathing in. Breathing out as you twist. Breathing in. And breathing out as you twist. Breathing in back to center, reaching the arms wide, palms open. And as you breathe out, take your thumbs and move them towards each other behind you. Breathe in deeply here. And as you breathe out, allowing your hands to come back to rest on top of your thighs. Take a moment to observe the effect of your practice. And then if you'd like to, you can lengthen your legs. So we're actually going to do our next practice with the legs long like this. So if you want to sit like this in the meantime, you can. It's helpful to have a little block just to prop yourselves up on, give yourself a little bit of support to sit like this. And if you need something underneath your knees to make your legs feel comfortable, that's okay. Your legs don't need to be straight and they don't need to be really wide apart either. So in Chinese traditional medicine, which is also used in yoga sometimes, then the lung meridian, which starts from the lungs and goes down each arm, is the energetic channel which is dedicated to feelings of loss and grief. And so by working with this meridian, this energy channel, we can help to loosen our blockages, release our control, and move through or with our grief, with our loss. So we have a tendency to protect our hearts when we're sad, when we've lost something, when we're grieving, to contain the hurt and to hang on to what we've lost. We don't give this part of our body any breath, and we don't give it any room so that it can move the energy or allow it to evolve or to change or to flow. So when we're working with grief, we try to allow ourselves to accept where we are, to really feel it, to allow it to happen. Have your tissues handy if you think you might need them, and allow anything that comes up to come up. If you need to take a moment during our practice, and if you feel that it's overwhelming you, then come to lying in Shavasana, or take child's pose, or lie on your tummy. Take a moment, it's okay. You can always come back to this on the video. So we're going to just examine our lung meridian, which starts from here in the center of the chest. And we're going to do our right side first. And this time I'm going to get my lefts and rights the right way around. Okay, so with the right side first, we're going to bring our hands to the little hollow just underneath the end of the collarbone and the front of the shoulder. There's a little hollow. You can give yourself a little gentle massage there. You don't need to hold your arm out. You can rest it down. And you might be aware of some spots there. There are in fact two acupressure points here where it just feels a little bit more tender or more feeling. So we're going to stimulate that a little. And then to rebalance our lung meridian, we're going to take the lung meridian follows the inside of the arm across the elbow, the inside of the elbow, down the outside of the forearm and into the thumb. To rebalance, we're going to take our hands either side of our thumbnail, give it a little wiggle, and then draw our energy up our thumb like a self-massage, up our arm, towards the heart, through that point that we've just stimulated to the center of our chest. When we've done that, we're going to sweep down the arm in the same places, but 3 times. So sweeping down your shoulder and arm across your thumb, and then let it go. So down across the arm, across the thumb, let it go. Okay, and we're releasing the blockage, not the grief. Okay, so we've done this left side, just allow it to, right side even, just allow it to have a moment to feel. And then we'll do the same on the other side. And you can sit in any position for this. So we start in the center, move our hands to that hollow just underneath the end of the collarbone and the beginning of the head of the shoulder here. And just stimulating here. This number 1 and 2 point on the lung meridian. Very good. And then we're going to take our hands and stimulating either side of the thumbnail, just giving it a little bit of a wiggle. Maybe you can feel that sort of extra sensation, different from how it would be if you were pressing another part of the body. And so we're going to start from the thumb and draw our hands up with a little firm pressure across the inside of the arm, across the inside of the elbow, inside of the upper arm, across the shoulder, back to that point that we massaged, and then back to our hearts. And that helps us to balance the energy in the meridian. And then we're going to sweep away the blockages. So sweeping the opposite way down the arm, across the thumb, let it go. From the heart, down the arm, across the thumb, let it go. One more time, down the arm, across the thumb, let it go. And just taking a moment to sit, perhaps the palms turned downwards if you prefer. Very good. So from here, we're going to use our arms again. You'll notice that in our first sequence, we use the arms a lot. That's because we're trying to create that flowing energy in the lung meridian to allow what comes up to come up and to allow it to move through us, to experience it, to feel. So we're going to do a similar practice here. If you can, stabilize your legs and your hips by having your toes upwards towards the ceiling, but don't worry too much. A little firmness in your belly muscles will help here as well. So we're going to breathe in, reaching the hands, palms turned upwards, out from the body and up, lifting the chest, lifting the chin, breathing out, floating the hands back down to the sides. Let's do 2 more like that. Breathing in, reaching the palms out and up, feel that opening, that length, that space to breathe. Breathing out, floating the hands down. Good. Breathing in, reaching out and up. Breathing out, releasing the hands down to the side. Now we're going to go side to side. So we're going to leave the left hand down. Left hand, yes. Reach the right hand up, breathing in and up. And breathing out as we lean over to the left side. Breathing in back to the center, turning the palm. Breathing out and over to the opposite side. Breathing in and up. Breathing out and over, trying to keep the chest open all of the time. Deep breaths, breathing in and up. Breathing out and over. One more time to each side, breathing in and up. Breathing out and over. Breathing in and up. Breathing out and over. This time we're going to breathe in and coming back to center. And then we're going to breathe out and we're going to reach down the left leg and reaching the right arm over. Breathing in and up. Let's just do this one side. Breathing out and reaching sort of forward, sort of twisted, sort of side bent. Breathing in and up. Breathing out and over. Let's do one more and hold, breathing in and up. Breathing out and holding just for a moment here. As you breathe deeply, see if you can gently open your chest as well. Maybe look underneath your arm, if that feels okay. One more deep breath in and deep breath out. Let's turn the top palm, breathing in and up. Breathing out just back to center here, turning the palms upwards. Let's breathe in, lengthen the arms, and we'll do the opposite side. Breathing out, reaching down the right leg, reaching the left arm over. Breathing in, turning the left palm up, breathing out, up to center. Breathing out and down. Breathing in and up. Breathing out and over. Last one to hold, breathing in and up. Breathing out and gently holding here. You don't have to go into this posture far. We're just exploring if you can open your chest, maybe open that space down the side of the ribs, open the lungs. When you're ready, turning your palm, breathing in back to center, breathing in and up rather. Breathing out, let's twist, twisting towards the right side to take the left hand behind you. Breathing in back to the center. Breathing out and twisting. Twisting's great for the rib cage. Breathing in back to center. Breathing out and twist. We'll do two more to each side. Breathing in and up. Breathing out and twist. So now one more to each side. Breathing in. Breathing out, twist. Breathing in back to center. Breathing out, twist. Breathing in, open the palms up. Breathing out, draw the hands in front of you a little. Let's breathe in, reach the hands forward and up, lifting the belly. And then breathing out, floating forward and down. Doesn't matter how far you come. Taking a moment here to take a deep breath in. And a deep breath out. Let's reach the heart, hands forward, firm the belly, breathing in and up. Breathing out, reach the hands behind you and down. Here we can lean back as we breathe in to open the chest. Maybe draw the elbows slightly together if they're nice and bent. breathing out here. And we're going to take a moment, if anyone feels like they would like to give it a go, if you're feeling strong, to bring your legs together and do an up plank. So it doesn't matter where your hands are behind you. If you want to, you don't have to. Breathe in, lift the hips up, lift the chest. Breathing out and down. Let's do 2 more. Breathing in and up, only if you want to. Breathing out and down. Breathing in and up. Breathing out and down. And then here, we're just going to ease ourselves off our blocks and come to lying down on our tummies. And so it's quite a nice one to follow after doing up plank, to make a pillow out of your hands and rest your forehead down. But if you feel that you prefer to have your head turned to one side, you can, absolutely. So taking a moment here to find a little softness across the fronts of the shoulders. You may feel that area that we stimulated with our acupressure after moving the arms in this way. Maybe there's just a little bit more sensation there. If it feels good, you can gently rock your hips from side to side. Whilst we're working a lot with our heart chakra and the lung meridian today, the sacral chakra is really the seat of our emotions. The heart is the seat of our love and compassion. So when you're ready, you can reach your hands out in front of you. Take your forehead to the floor. Just lengthen the legs directly back from the hips. They don't need to be together. Press the pubic bone down a little, scoop your belly in, and just take a few deep breaths like this. You don't need to hold your belly in really, really firmly. Just a touch. Last breath in. And gently breathing out, bringing your hands underneath your shoulders. And we're just gently going to ease ourselves up into onto our hands and knees. And here, if you want to give your heart center a little bit more space to move, you can have your hands wider apart than normal. And we'll try to support our hips with our knees underneath them. And a little firmness in the belly here. We're going to do cat-cow, so breathing in, lifting the chest as you look up, and breathing out, rounding through the spine as you take your chin towards your chest. Breathing in. You all know how to do this posture, so move in the way that is most useful for you today, that feels the best to you, that gives you the most comfortable sensations. Try to keep your breath long and deep. Encouraging your system to breathe deeply is really one of the best things you can do when you feel that heartbreak, that loss, that sadness. And then when you're ready, you can begin to move in any way that feels good to you. So you could maybe draw circles with your belly button or your shoulders. I like this kind of undulating, both sides moving differently. And allow your head to do whatever feels good in this posture. A touch of tone across your belly muscles will just protect you from doing anything your back doesn't want to do. If you're going in one direction, just being sure that you're going also in the opposite direction. Take your opportunity to change direction. Then you can go backwards and forwards. breathing nice and deeply, just trying to find the space across the torso for the breath to move. When you feel that you've balanced to either side, bring your toes together and take your knees as wide apart as feels comfortable. Take your hips towards your heels and allow your body to sink towards the floor. If it doesn't come all the way to the floor, if your forehead hasn't got anything to lean on, then just placing a block, or you can fold your arms and rest your head on the back of your hands. If you haven't got the arms underneath your body, you may choose to turn your palms upwards. Take a moment to breathe deeply here. You can even do a little sort of shifting, moving, if that feels like you can ease into a little bit more space. But if you can, take a moment also to hold your posture, soften all of the effort that you've made, and relax. At the end of your next exhalation, just bringing yourself a little bit more upright so you can see what's going to happen next. For this posture, you might want something to rest your head on. I'll demonstrate it to both sides. So we're going to do a thread the needle pose with our upper bodies, but in child's pose as we are now. So we're going to leave one arm out in front of us, still with the hips towards the heels, and slide the other arm underneath that shoulder and take the head to something. So if you want something underneath your head, you can place something underneath your head. And just so you can see the other side. So taking your head towards the floor if you can. Okay, so we're going to hold each side as we do this. Okay, so let's begin by perhaps twisting towards the left. So leaving the left arm on the floor, palm can face upwards if you want to, downwards if you prefer. Slide your right hand underneath your left arm and take your right side of your head, your right shoulder towards the floor. If it's dreadfully uncomfortable, you don't need to do this at all. You can do a gentle lying down on your back spinal twist. If you can, soften the effort in your left arm, turn your palm upwards. Your right palm is turned upwards as well. And then in this position, just taking, let's say, 3 nice long deep breaths. When you're ready to release, turning your left palm down, just pressing down to give a little support so that you can slide the right hand back to the center. And in the center, if you want to come out of this child's pose, if it's a little bit tough on your hips, you can come up to your hands and knees and just spend a moment. Or if you prefer, you can stay in your child's pose. Just taking a moment in the center to feel the difference between the two sides. Then coming back into our wide leg child's pose for the opposite side. Sliding now the left hand towards the right side, taking the left side of the head towards the floor. Maybe turning the right palm upwards, and the left palm is upwards as well. Here, when we're doing yin yoga or yin poses like this, you can hold them for a lot longer than we are going to today. So if you find one that really suits you, then feel free to come back to practice it or pause in the video and take a few extra deep breaths. We'll do 3 deep breaths here now. Soften all the effort that you're able to release. And at the end of your exhalation, turning your right hand down, just pressing a little bit in your hand to bring yourself up to center. And then going back to the center, you can support the head on the hands if you would like. Taking a moment, or you can come into hands and knees if you prefer. When you're ready, we're all going to come to hands and knees. So bringing the knees together, just lifting the buttocks, bringing the knees towards each other, not together. And from here, we're going to do a pose called Melting Heart. So if for this pose, we're going to keep our hips over our knees and reach the hands in front of us quite a long way. And then gently allow your chest to come down towards the floor. So it doesn't matter how far down it goes. If you get to a point that feels that it's comfortable, but you're quite far away from the floor, you can take a block underneath your head and rest your head there. And if you are able to rest your chest all the way down to the floor, you can just rest your forehead there. Or some people prefer to rest their chin. It's up to you, whichever is most comfortable for your neck. Now we'll just take a couple of deep breaths. Now, if this is not comfortable to hold, you can gently pulse yourself up and down with your breath. Gently inhaling, perhaps as you come up, and exhaling as you come down. We'll hold for 2 more deep breaths. And then gently, after your next exhalation, just bringing yourself back up to center, walking your hands in towards you. We're going to tuck our toes under and come on to sitting on our heels just for a moment. Give our shoulders a little bit of a softened circle. And here, if you prefer to sit upright, you can. That's no problem. Just circling the shoulders a little. Feeling, I find that when I practice like this, it feels very deep in my body. So it has a really profound feeling. It's very, very feely indeed, very feely indeed. And if anything's coming up, then just allowing it to come up, allowing it to be. If you need to take a moment, you can. We're going to work from here into a little soft downward dog and then into pigeon pose. So if you know you need some supports for pigeon, then now's the time to get them into place. So when you're ready, you can come back to your hands and knees. I'm going to keep the toes tucked under and just gently float the knees off the floor and then press the chest back towards the bent legs. Take a moment here in this sort of baby dog. And then when you're ready, you can gently uncurl your legs. And it might be that here we keep the knees really soft. You can do a little paddling with your dog if you want to, but otherwise we're going to keep the knees quite soft, maybe even sway the hips from side to side, because it's not about lengthening the back of the body today. This is just a transitioning pose. So from here, we're going to step the feet a little bit together, a little bit of effort in the belly muscles, and lift the right leg up behind us. And then draw the right knee into the chest and taking the right knee towards the right wrist and the left foot towards sorry, the right foot towards the left wrist. And you can slide your left leg back. If it's comfortable to hold here, then you can. If it doesn't feel so good for your knees, you can shift your right foot back towards your right hip instead of across your body to wherever you need to make that comfortable. Alternatively, you can drop your right buttock to the floor. So whichever of these is most comfortable for you. So here we've got our right knee forward. We've got both hands on the ground. And for anyone who wants to do a little bit more than we're doing here, you can reach your right hand behind you and you can reach it to your right hip if that feels comfortable. Just give this sort of twisting opening across the chest, or you can bend your left leg and catch hold of it. So whichever of these, only if you want to do a little bit more. If it's already feeling quite intense in this position, the other alternative is just to bring your hands a little bit further towards you, which further opens your chest, okay? But choose the intensity of practice that suits you. If you're holding your foot, you can hold the inside or the outside of the foot and play with that to find which one of these gives you the feeling of openness. I find holding the outside of my foot opens up the front of my shoulder even more. Whichever position you're in, take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And then we're slowly going to lower ourselves over our front leg. So if you're twisted, coming back to center, and then you can lower yourself down. And you might want to, again, use a block here underneath the head. Or fold your arms, stack your fists, or reach your forehead all the way to the floor. Taking three deep breaths here. At the end of your exhalation, just gently lifting your body, patting your hands back towards you. And we're going to come back into our soft downward dog. So tucking the left toes under, and you can straighten your right leg out behind you, rolling the foot at the ankle a few different directions if you like. And then coming back with the feet apart and the knees bent, and just wiggling the hips, maybe a little softness in the shoulders and the elbows as well. Give yourself an opportunity to ease out any effort from the practice. And then we'll do the same thing to the other side, so bringing the feet together, lengthening the left leg up behind you, a little firmness in the belly. Draw the left knee towards the left wrist and the left foot towards the right wrist, sliding the right hip back. And you might find that that's a little bit too twisty for your knee, so you can bring your foot back towards your left hip if you like. So here, finding the position that works for you. Upright might be great. You might want the hands a little bit further back towards you to give a little bit more openness. You can roll the shoulder blades together as well. You might want to leave your right hand on the floor and reach your left hand behind you, or reach for your left foot. And again, exploring if you want to hold the inside of the foot or the outside of the foot. Whichever position you're in, we're going to take three deep breaths. At the end of your exhalation, Just gently unwinding yourself if you have been in a twisted position, and preparing to come forward, easing yourself down over your front leg, using a block for support underneath your head if you need it, coming all the way down if you prefer. And here taking again 3 deep breaths, softening the effort, softening your face, softening your heart. After your next exhalation, just gently patting the hands back towards you, tucking the right toes under, supporting the body so that you can transition, lengthening the left leg behind you, rolling the foot at the ankle a few times in each direction, floating that foot to the floor, and just gently wiggling your shoulders, wiggling your hips, wiggling your elbows, your knees. And then when you're ready, coming down to child's pose again. And child's pose can be any child's pose that feels good to you. Turning your palms upwards if you can. When you're ready, we're going to just come up to sitting for a moment. So for our last few postures of the day, we're going to use our blocks. So we're going to have one block underneath our head and the other block underneath the shoulder blades. So if you don't have 2 blocks like this, that are quite firm, almost like bricks, these ones are really great because they've got a little bit of give, so it's softer to lay over than some of the wooden ones. But if you don't have that, then a rolled up blanket will do. And if you don't have that and you've got a bolster, you can use a bolster instead. So if you're using the blocks, you get this very firm support between the shoulder blades at the back of the heart that gives it this lift and openness, a little bit like a fascial release there. So a little bit stimulating as well. So this is by far the best option, but the other options of giving yourself just a little bit of lift over a blanket or a bolster will still give you that sense of openness. It just won't be quite as intense. So bear that in mind. I just want to check on my plan that I've done everything that I needed to do so far. So far, so good. Aces. Okay, so we're going to hold this posture for about 3 minutes. It's quite a long time. So when you come into it, check that you feel comfortable. And it might be, and you don't need to feel super comfortable, but you might want to have some a blanket handy to go over your legs or your socks on now. So the block between your shoulder blades, I find it easier to get onto that block first and then place the one underneath my head second. And if you feel this is too open in your throat, you can actually turn this block on its more upright orientation and put that underneath the head instead. Super. So where your block is behind your shoulder blades, that might be something that you need to alter when you come into this posture. So it might be that it's a little bit too high or a little bit too low. You can shift it, even just a centimeter up or down might make all the difference. Make sure that the blocks underneath your head particularly are really really stable on the floor. They're not tipped, otherwise you won't be able to relax over this support as well as you might. Now here, we've got options. It doesn't matter what kind of support you've got underneath your body. And in fact, you can do this lying flat on the ground if you don't have any props at all. But we've got options as to what we do with our hands. So we can reach the arms really wide away from the body. And you might find that as you do that, you get even more stimulus behind the body on the blocks with the palms turned upwards. You can even reach the arms over the head if your hands will come towards over the head, if your hands will come to some sort of support. But you can keep them much closer to your body, or you can even rest your hands onto the side of your body, sort of at the bottom of your lungs, as long as your elbows have some support. And then you can bend your knees if you want to and put your feet on the floor. That helps to take some of the intensity out of for the low body. Or you can bring the soles of your feet towards each other and let your knees come apart. Now, if your knees naturally come down to something and the legs feel supported, this is a great option. If not, a couple of cushions on either side to support the knees, or some rolled up blankets, or I've even seen people use their rolled up socks to support their knees. This can be a nice option. I don't mind holding it with my knees floating in the air, but it is not recommended. And of course, the option to just leave the legs extended is fine as well. So wherever you are, whatever position you've chosen, coming into that position, closing your eyes here, and trying to soften as much of your effort, your tension as is possible. Allow this pose to be open, accepting, surrendering. Soften your forehead and your jaw. If you find it easy, just to focus on your breath. Focus on that feeling of surrender. You can continue to do that. If you find that a little bit more challenging, perhaps use an affirmation in this posture. I am surrounded by love and support, seen and unseen. I am surrounded by love and support, seen and unseen. After your next exhalation, just preparing to transition to a new posture. If your knees are apart, using your hands just to gently help the knees back to your center and lengthening your legs away from you. Take a moment here just to shift the hips up and down. If that feels good, a wiggle from side to side. And then it's probably easier to move with your feet on the floor and knees bent, and just gently easing to one side so you can ease off the blocks, taking them out from underneath the body and then rolling back onto your back. Take a moment with your feet supported underneath your knees, supported underneath your knees, arms out to the side, and just feel the effect of your posture. The posture we've just done, the yin fish, is one of the best postures for realigning the spine, for opening the heart, and it can take you a few breaths just to feel your body softening back into its sort of neutral shape of balance. Let's do a little spinal twist here as well. So bring your feet together, cross your right leg over your left leg. You can take your arms as wide as you need. And then shift your hips a little bit to the right. And then gently allow your knees to come to the left. So again, if you want something underneath your knees or your thighs as they're down on your left side, you can. And if you want to, you can turn your head towards the left or the right, or keep it centered, whichever feels good. Take a deep breath in here. And a deep breath out. Check that your posture is comfortable. We're going to hold for another 5 or so deep breaths. Relax your face. If you need to use an affirmation here, I am gentle with myself is a nice one. I am gentle with myself. After your next exhalation, just creating a little bit of firmness across the belly and easing your knees back to the center, shifting your hips also back to the center, uncrossing the legs. Take a moment here in the center just to feel how everything feels. And then we're going to move from this posture into a broken wings posture. So if you allow your knees to come to the left, both of them roll onto your left side. We're going to press up with our right hand and just reach our left hand behind us and take the left side of the head, the left shoulder, the left side of the chest to the floor. If you need something underneath your head here, that's fine.
And the knees are, it's like lying on your side with your left hand behind you. And the palm can be turned down towards the floor now. You can use your right hand for support in front of you. Or if you want to, you can create a little bit more space. At this stage of the practice, I think probably a nice softer pose is better. Some people prefer to bend the left arm at the elbow, creating a little sort of right angle there. That does intensify the stretch across the left side of the chest. So if you can do that without losing your breath, then that's okay. Gently easing, softening here. Finding those deep breaths. And then we're going to, at the end of your next exhalation, move to the opposite side. But do it this way. So you're going to lengthen your legs. You're going to turn onto your tummy. And you can leave your right hand on the floor, either bent or arm extended. And shift yourself over so you're turned in the opposite direction. The knees are stacked. The left hand is supporting you on the floor. The right side of the chest and the right side of the head on the floor. And if you want to here, again, you can bend your right arm at a right angle. That does intensify this position, at least for me, maybe it does for you. So if that feels like the right thing to do, you can. If that feels just too much today, too overwhelming, or if you can't find that deep breath, you can lengthen your arm straight again. Breathe deeply. At the end of your next exhalation, just pressing into your left hand a little to lift your body so you can slide your right hand through and roll onto your back again. Coming back into constructive rest, just feeling the difference between the two sides of the body, maybe allowing the arms to open up. We're going to move into our final pose, the spinal twist to the opposite side. So crossing the left leg over the right leg. A little firmness in the belly, shifting the hips to the left as well, and just allowing the knees to come down to the right side. Might be that you want your arms a little further apart, that's okay. Turning your head to find the best position. Closing your eyes or gazing at one spot. Soften the features of your face. Your tongue and your jaw. And find that deep breath. If you want to use an affirmation with this pose, you can use, I allow myself to feel whatever I need to feel. I allow myself to feel whatever I need to feel. At the end of your next exhalation, just a touch of firmness in the belly to help the knees come back to center. Shifting the hips back to center as well and crossing the legs. Folding the hands onto the body, either onto the chest or one at the chest, one at the abdomen, both at the abdomen, wherever is good for you. And then just taking a moment to feel the effect of all of these postures. And we move slowly and often gently or deeply like this. It can feel like we haven't moved as much as we might in a dynamic class, but often the work is more profound. The effect on our energy is much deeper, much more lasting. So when you're ready, you can move yourself into relaxation pose. And you might want to come up briefly to put on a jumper or some warm socks, which I'm going to do now. You can get yourself a blanket or 2 or 3 and make this relaxation a really comfortable, soft one. It's a great time to wrap yourself in a scarf as well. In the Chinese traditional medicine, the lung meridian is associated with communication, and that would be more in our throat for traditional yoga and Ayurveda. But everything is so connected that it's worth using that little extra compassion with the body. The other thing you can do, if you'd like to, is put a bolster underneath your knees when you come into your relaxation position. That's completely optional. You can use cushions if you prefer, or not at all if you prefer. And for those of us who quite like this, we can never believe that there would be anybody who doesn't, but there are people who don't like that. Okay. So making sure that you're really warm, and then bringing yourself into whichever pose of the Shavasanas you prefer. It might be that you have your palms turned upwards. It might be that you have your hands folded onto your body, and that particularly today is okay to contain that those areas, to bring comfort and compassion to the body. Then you get yourself laying down. Just gently turn your head from one side to the other. A few times, feel that ease any tension out of the neck. It also lets you get a really good position with the head when you come back to center. We've worked with a lot. There might be things coming up. So let's do our 3 exhaling through the mouth breaths. So take a deep breath in. Sigh as you let go. Deep breath in. Last breath in. and surrender your whole body down. Allow the breath to find its natural rhythm and fall into a quieter, gentler way. Take your awareness into your forehead, feel it soften and spread. Feel the area around your eyes relaxing. Your mouth, tongue, and jaw releasing. Become aware of the back of the body. Allow the whole of the back of the body to feel heavy, warm, supported, and releasing down. Move your awareness to the front of your body. Become aware of the space over you, over your heart, around you. Feel the touch of air on your face. The weight and the warmth of your clothing or a blanket. Feel the sensation of holding space in the palms of the hands. Move your awareness to your breath and gently deepen your breath. Today, for this silent part of relaxation, we're going to work with a mantra repeated in our minds as we breathe. Breathing in love, breathing out peace. Breathing in love, breathing out peace. Breathing in love, breathing out peace. Relaxing a little deeper with every exhalation. Gently bring your awareness back to this time, this place. If you've been drifting deep in your breath, bring your awareness back to your hands and your feet. Wiggle your fingers, your toes, move your wrists, your ankles. Don't be worried about the popping and the clicking. When it feels right to you, perhaps you want to stretch expansively, or perhaps you prefer simply to draw your knees into your chest. You can do either. We're all going to end up with our knees bent in and hugging our legs towards us. So we've worked a lot with our heart chakra, and in fact the chakras of the front of the body anyway. So we want to maybe just have the sense of not closing, but also bringing a little control or containment back to our hearts. So when you're ready, you can gently draw your knees in towards you and your head towards your knees. And then gently release your head down. Continue making any rocking and rolling movements that feel good to you. In your own time, you can find your way over to your side and spend a moment just sort of curled in. In your own time, find your way to any comfortable seated position. And bring your hands to Namaste. We'll lift our chests a little and then take our chins a little down. And finish with a final affirmation. I'm moving through grief, loss, sadness, and I'm opening to other emotions. I'm moving through grief, loss, or sadness, and I'm opening to other emotions. Give yourself a gentle smile. When you're ready, raise your head, release your hands, and open your eyes. Namaste, guys. Thank you for joining me for this practice. I hope it was helpful for all of you.